The governor mentioned 3 times that in the years that he has been in office, the 3 years that he has been in office, he has not reduced funding to K-12 education. And one of the things and whether or not, and I'll say in fairness to the community that it's been observed to me that depending on how the accounting is done, that may not necessarily be a true statement. But from a policy standpoint, the emphasis of what the governor was saying, I think is very important, that in these times, level funding or continuing funding for K-12 education is an accomplishment and not an embarrassment. And I think that was his root assertion. He said, look, we are doing our best in the state, and he also described other priorities, other needs, and other burdens that all Virginians, including Spotsylvanians, all face. And that took me back to do a little research and look back at a JLARC study that the General Assembly authorized and was recently completed, and also to compare it to some stats from the JLARC study and elsewhere, but this is principally from the JLARC study. Our county population has increased an average 1.2% a year from 2011 to 2016. Over the same period, school enrollment has decreased 0.2% a year. JLARC notes that Virginia relies heavily on local funding for schools. That's as true as ever. And we rank 11th nationally in a locality's share of K-12 funding. Overall, from FY05 to FY14, there was an average 7% statewide decline in per pupil spending by localities. Now, here in Spotsylvania, we were, over the same period, saw a reduction of 3.5%, which was half the average. So that shows in a broader statement where we are relative to some others. JLARC also found that many divisions spend less on instruction, but are faced with educating more resource-intensive students, such as those that are under IEPs and require services through DSS. Also a fair observation that our recommended transfer to the schools for FY 2018 is $3.7 million greater than the FY 08 transfer. And FY 08, of course, was the fiscal year in which the recession began. So I just wanted to provide that background or context because it is, first of all, because I realize that my proposed budget has a gap for the schools, and it's a serious amount of money at over $4 million. It's also a serious gap for our general county government functions. We are not doing everything the departments need or want on the general government side either. We're recommending choices, hard choices,